Imagine walking outside on a beautiful night and the nice breeze hits you. The sky not too dark, but dark enough that you are able to recognize it's nighttime as if it were a purple, and the moonlight shining so bright it reflects on the city. Those nights I like to sit outside and gaze at the stars. I wonder though, what purpose the stars served for our ancient ancestors and how the history of astrology is still currently being acknowledged today. Astrology is being acknowledged in modern society as spirituality practices continue to expand. Zodiac signs. Have you ever wondered what they are? How were they established? Or what do they mean? The history of astrology can provide you the answer to these questions. Now, history has always been one of my favorite subjects. With the brief previous knowledge that I learned and the latest information obtained through thorough research, I now understand what and how astrology was used, and I can now share that with my audience. So the next time you gaze at the stars, it will be more than just a beautiful sight to see. You will have an understanding of what makes it such a beautiful sight. This speech will give you an idea of astrological history, where it originated, the aspects of astrology, and how it transitioned and is currently still being acknowledged in the Middle Ages. I love to know the background and root concept of things. Astrology has expanded itself from ancient Roman culture to Western culture, and so on. But what is astrological history? Where did it originate? Or who or why would anyone want to study the stars? What is astrology? Again, where did it originate? What is the difference between astrology and astronomy? According to Roger Beck's A Brief History of Astrology, ancient astrology essentially means Greek astrology. Astrology's origin came about in the earliest centuries through Rome's empire, thus the meaningful definition Greek astrology. Astronomy and astrology are remarkably similar, and both needed to be used and acknowledged during this study. Astrology began from the earliest BC and CE centuries by Rome's empire. During this time, the Greek astronomers needed to be aware of mathematical and the scientific of the paradigms. Mathematical astronomy, measurements of the stars, was aided to help discover astrology. Being well educated on the aspects, angles, and the degree placements play a significant role in this investigation, along with the studies of science. The Mesopotamian era is the first and the original of astrology. Over the years, it expanded from the Mesopotamian era, identifying as a celestial phenomena. Scientists then took an astrological approach on the subject upon being studied by Greek astrologers. Now, with the research and the science, with all the research that the scientists have conducted from the early BC and CE centuries, how would the study of the stars be useful to ancient scientists? What did they do with the information they gained during the research? Greek astrologers throughout Roman empires began genealogy, the science of births, to focus on the configurations of the stars, at the time of one's birth. Today, we know this to be called a horoscope. Zodiac signs fall along this category as they are determined by the celestial configurations. Horoscopes today are what Greeks called nativity. It is said that the configurations of the stars make up a horoscope. Horoscopes can tell an individual's fate, future, and character based on how they are configured. Although we do get our zodiac signs and symbols from sciences of astrology, the signs are different from the constellations that make up the zodiac horoscope. Constellations are the groups of stars that are signs and based on how the stars are geometrically constructed. Beck demonstrated a circular diagram in his book, A Brief History of Astrology, that illustrated the zodiac signs on a clock formation. The construction of the stars and the angles they are set at resemble how and where the constellation that make up the signs. Imagine a clock and replace the time with the zodiac sign. Now imagine 12 clock hands, one for each zodiac sign, working together at once as the planets orbit. That is what his illustration reminded me of. Depending on the time of the birth, the Earth was orbiting in various positions. Time of the birth does initially determine your zodiac sign. However, there are many other factors that contribute to this superstition as well. Astrology's focus is on the stars. Once the concept was understood and the investigation was studied thoroughly, Greek scientists practiced using the stars for other resources. Let's take a look at other ways the stars helped our ancestors. Greek astrologers gave rise to astrology, the practice of seeking and sometimes finding the answer to a question in a map of the heavens for the moment it is asked or received. Roy Willis and Patrick Curry, the book Astrology, Science and Culture, Pulling Down the Moon. Scientists took information gathered from the stars, along with the mathematical astronomy, and looked for answers, sometimes even directions in the sky, through the sky. Scientists would determine which direction to go based on the alignment and construction of the stars. Ancient ancestors were also able to tell time on the alignment of the constellation, based on the alignment of the constellations. The measurement of time catalyzed the development of numbers, mathematics, and astronomy as the first humans began counting days, hours, minutes, and seconds. The sophistication of ancient civilizations in noting the cycles of the sun, the moon, the planets, the stars enabled them to unify their people and to coordinate the activities of their people with both cycles of nature and with the cycles of their gods. For the study of time, the planets, the sun, and the moon, the beat by which human civilization developed. The stars, such an amazing and beautiful sight to see, so many galaxies in such a small world. Astrology is the study of the stars, the moon and the sun. The moon and the sun are included, but in what way, shape, or form did the moon or the sun contribute? Okay. Do you know what the two biggest stars in our galaxy are? That's right, the sun and the moon. These stars provide the world with the necessities it needs. Energy and light. It also provided ancestors answers to questions during their study. As scientist Darwin's theory previously studied, the moon orbits off the earth, so do alignment of the constellations. Astrology helped ancestors in many ways, and as they say, history repeats itself. Astrology has been around for centuries. Different regions across the world are familiar with their own cultural view on astrology. Originating in Rome in the early BC century, it spread throughout the world, from Greek history to Asian and even Egyptian and Western. Astrology has been studied, explored, and used. From the past to even current day, astrology is still acknowledged and being taught. Ancient scientists had much trouble broadening the study of astrology to other cultures. Passing down astrology studies in other regions was a big challenge for scientists. Many of us look at the stars and just see a beautiful sight without knowing the history behind them or how they contributed to society and the knowledge we know today. Current day uses are fortune telling, zodiac readings, as was during the BC and CE era. History repeats itself. So next time you view the starry sky night, notice the constellation constructions, notice the formations and the placement of the stars. You will then grasp how our ancestors were also able to. Thank you.